Let's move to the area of the special military operation. Hero of Russia, commander of the Akhmat Special Forces, Abdiaronovich Alaudinov. He is with us live. Abdiaronovich, hello. What is the situation on the front lines where the Akhmat Special Forces are fighting the enemy?
Zhenya, good afternoon. Well, overall, in general, our situation is quite good. In principle, if we look at the fact that literally 2 weeks ago, the enemy again tried to breach our border and penetrate into the territory of the Belgorod region. Now everything is under control. These areas are being cleared. The enemy, of course, does not tire of throwing in more and more cannon fodder. Even though they see that they are suffering terrible losses daily and cannot achieve any results. So, I want to note that all the units that are currently on the Kursk direction and on other directions along the entire line of contact are gradually advancing forward, which gives us hope that under such pressure the units will not be able to hold out for a long time. The armed forces of Ukraine are not capable and will not be able to. Of course, they are trying to gather people somewhere to send them again after preparation to certain areas. But as we can see, all of this is futile. Let's hope that if everything continues at this pace, really, their entire front will soon collapse. I will hope for that.
Undoubtedly. And we are absolutely confident in our overall victory, as both Western newspapers and official sources, like General Cavalli, report. Thank you. The commander of NATO forces in Europe stated that Kyiv has managed to partially compensate for the shortage of personnel, thanks to that very forced mobilization. Is this felt on the front?
Well, look, no matter what is said, Ukraine's allies, or rather their masters, are slowly but surely starting to show some sober thinking. No matter what anyone says, most of these statements already indicate that it is impossible to defeat Russia on the battlefield, and Ukraine is not capable of doing it. Replenishment, yes, the Ukrainian side can make immediate replenishments, but if you look at the analytics, what was the size of their army? At the beginning of the special military operation and at the present moment, you will see that it has decreased by, well, hundreds of thousands of people. And it's not just 100. That is still, they physically can't manage to catch such a number on the street and put them into service. Why? Because along the entire line of combat contact, our units are daily eliminating a very large number of opponents moving forward. They are physically unable to replenish such numbers. Moreover, they have to constantly plug all these gaps that arise for them daily. Therefore, in this regard, we need to understand that the machine they have, which catches all the male population and throws them to the front, is indeed working in an intensified mode. At the same time, as I understand it, they no longer have such an amount of material to gather and throw to the front.
Comrade General, Ukrainian intelligence and Western intelligence claim that we are already prepared. A 150,000 strong contingent, 17 divisions, to launch a new large-scale offensive in the coming weeks. What do you say?
In fact, we might have much more ready. So we will do our thing and let them be afraid. Because Russia, we simply need to face the truth. Look at how many waves of mobilization have occurred in Ukraine. And these waves, they didn't stop between these waves. So, it turns out for the 4th year in a row, they have been continuously, as they say, recruiting these mobilizants, so to speak. And for us, throughout this entire period, there was only one mobilization. And even that took place in an absolutely calm manner. Even at this stage, I must honestly say, I am in favor of conducting another mobilization. Because no matter what anyone says, if we had a free force, a million-strong army, then the conversation on the other side would be completely different today. That's clear. Well, naturally, the Supreme Commander-in-Chief knows better what and how things should be. Therefore, we have resources, reserves, everything necessary, and God willing, we will soon show them all of this.
It's important to emphasize here, Peter Ivanovich, that the Kremlin has repeatedly stated that there will be no additional mobilization in the near future or in the future. Still, I can't help but ask you, it's clear that the military has its own job, but how is it at the front? How is this complex negotiation, full process, which is currently happening on both sides of the ocean, perceived?
War is, in essence, the continuation of politics. When politicians run out of arguments, politics transitions into a state of war. For us, for people with weapons in hand, the task is to win. And on the day when politicians...
Abdiaronovich, our connection is restored. Yes, please continue.
Well, our task, we believe, as people with weapons in hand, is to do our job without looking back at any politicians, not listening to what Trump or anyone else said. They are not authorities for us at all, because we have only one authority, and that is the Supreme Commander-in-Chief. If the Supreme Commander-in-Chief one day decides that now the war can be ended because we have achieved all our goals that were set at the beginning of the operation, on that day he will issue, as they say, his decree, an order to which we will comply. And everything else, to be honest, I think that even some of our politicians who have fallen into this state of love for Trump, who only talk about him, really surprise me. Honestly, Trump is not our friend. Trump wants to do well for himself. Why? Because America's situation is not very bright, and we must understand that we are in a state where each of us only sees what is on our own plate. And up there is the Supreme Commander-in-Chief, who sees what is on the plate and around the plate. On the table, under the table, as they say, and even in the air. He sees and knows everything. Our task is to orient ourselves towards our supreme leader and always speak. Vladimir Vladimirovich Putin said this, he did that. I believe this is the right thing to do. Therefore, we will go until the victorious end. Honestly, as they say, I am increasingly inspired by the spirit of our fighters, who are always ready to go to the end. That is, it doesn't matter where it happens, we are ready to go until the victorious end. Russia is the winner, and we know it. Our task is to plant all the flags where needed, and we will do it.
Thank you very much. As always, a big hello to the Akhmat Special Forces fighters and a deep bow for defending our freedom and independence right now. As for our goals, undoubtedly they are security guarantees for all of Russia, for all Russian citizens. And they will be achieved in this. There is no doubt, whether on the battlefield or at the negotiating table, Abdialodinov, General Commander of the Akhmat Special Forces, Hero of Russia, is with us. Live from the Special Military Operations Zone.
The enemy attempted to strategically capture settlements located on the border with the Sumy region in order to force us to divert significant resources to stop them, thereby dispersing our forces, which are currently slowly, effectively, and efficiently advancing within the Sumy region. The enemy was stopped. To stop the enemy, forces were deployed here, including the Akhmat Special Forces. The units that were located in the Kursk region, these are 4 detachments. And in principle, the enemy has been stopped. A lot of the enemy has been destroyed. He tried to break through in Popovka, and there too he got a beating. Well, we ruined all his plans so that he does not plan such this event with further advancement already in this territory into the Belgorod region and at the junction, it turns out, of the Kursk region.